Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller.
And I'm Mal Spain, and we are your fuck buddies.
We are a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, we did an intro properly.
And you did it within the first 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Ready for some questions?
Yeah, let's just get right into it.
All right, so if you don't know the drill, guys, we either find questions online and answer them, or we get sent them in by users of this fine podcasting site. Mm-hmm. Site? We're not a site. We're a podcast.
Well, I mean, technically we are a site.
We are a site. Yeah, go check us out. I'm going to start off.
Okay.
So this is a... Why do you look so pensive?
Just my face.
All right. This is a question from Reddit, relationship advice, and it is by No Hitter 946.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "My friends are in the next room fucking, and I'm watching Disney Plus." Yes, that title is not clickbait. I'm sitting here watching The 13th Year, great movie by the way, and my friends are in the next room getting it on. We have this whole night planned, and I knew I was going to third wheel, but not this bad. I'm debating just leaving or seeing through this bullshit so I can watch The Joker later tonight. No spoilers, please. I'm really happy for my best friend, but this isn't how I plan my Saturday. What the fuck should I do?
Well, was the plan with the friends to go see The Joker? Because The Joker's not on Disney Plus. What are you doing?
I assume they're going to see The Joker later?
That was their plan, yeah.
Or pirate it, you motherfuckers.
I'm going to give you two options. One, leave. Get out of there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Two, find the youngest program that you can on Disney Plus.
Turn that shit up.
You know what I mean? Like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like there's there's like a Disney
Blue's
like for
Clues.
babies. And just fucking and play along. Like when they're like, "Can you find our hat?"
Dora the Explorer,
be
that
like,
shit.
Yeah, it's
like,
right there, Mickey, it's right there. You're wearing it, Mickey. And just do that.
Or just find like Barney and turn it up really loud so that you
not
can't
everything
hear...
is on Disney Plus, okay?
I don't. Hey, they literally do own everything.
I mean, they're getting there, but I don't think they own Barney.
They
Dora.
bought it this morning.
Maybe
they also bought this podcast.
They might have Dora. I think Dora's Fox.
I
don't know shit about Dora.
Every question today will have Disney Plus as part of it because of our new deal. But yeah, no, they own everything. Hashtag,
like we would get a deal.
We are child friendly. Firstly,
yes.
We have a dark past. Secondly, just like Disney. Yeah, no, I think like if you've ever been fucking when YouTube changes to a random song that includes a child chorus, you'll know the feeling of unease. Yeah, because it's the worst thing in the world. You'll know the unease of hearing children chant or be exuberant while you're trying to just get down when you're trying to clit someone into the mattress. So get something that is just irreparably childlike and turn up the volume. Bonus 1, you don't have to hear their shit. Bonus 2, god damn, the second bonus, they have to listen to kids, and that's gonna ruin the mood.
Yeah, alternatively, just start watching porn really loud too. You know what I mean? Like if they're cool with you hearing them fuck, what's wrong with you just rubbing one out real quick? Like if everyone's getting off, they cannot be upset that you're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're like, "Dude, what are you doing?" Be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is it rude to ejaculate while your friends are in the next room? Is that a rude thing to do?"
But don't mix up our plans because you might be on the list.
Yeah, don't jerk off to kids' things.
No, don't do that.
Unless it's like a kid's, like Ariel. Like if you're into fucking mermaids, yay, man, go for it.
Hey, Barney's got that thick tail.
He's dummy thick.
No, I would say leave because 1, this doesn't sound fun for you, and 2, like you can also then be doing your friend a favor, being like, "Oh, I left because I didn't want to be in the way." So like you're being a good friend, but you're also getting the fuck out of this shitty situation. Like go home and watch Disney Plus by yourself. Or go home and whack off. Like, do something, because this isn't fun for you.
I will also say...
Like, if you're wingmanning them, if that's the reason why you came, guess what? They're good.
Yeah, your job is done.
They are good, like...
But here's the thing. I would assume that, like, the plan probably wasn't like, "Hey, man, do you want to come on this date with me to wingman?" Like, I assume they're probably together. You know what I mean? Because, like, if you were trying to hook up with someone, you would not invite me out.
Some people are really fucking dumb.
I know. But, like, obviously this guy doesn't have any problem. Like, if they're fucking before the night
maybe
even starts...
Maybe he didn't know.
I mean, again, but, like, give your buddy a heads up. Like, right now, I'm saying the friend, but did he say friend or friends?
What if this happened? Right? He arrives to hang out with the girl, and the friend is there, and he's like, "Why the fuck is she here?" She's like, "Oh, can we talk in the next room?" So they go in, and she was like, "Look, She was meant to be here to wingman me. And then he was like, you don't need to wingman me.
Wait, what?
You had me at hello. And then they were
I'm
like...
so confused.
'Kay.
Who's wingmanning what?
The two girls, I'm assuming. I don't know if that's correct.
Oh, I thought it was 2 guys.
It does not say.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was like a guy and they're the buddies hooking up with a girl. I guess it doesn't really say, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing.
I assumed it was like a girl and a guy. Like, a girl liked a guy and wanted her friend to come along and, like, you know, back her up. Just say my friends. Either way, I had a whole thing where, like, they went into the next room to discuss why the friend was there and admitted their feelings and just couldn't help but fuck. So maybe that's what happened. Either way, that might be how it happened.
I mean, maybe. Again,
and then,
they're shitty friends.
Yeah, no, they're shitty friends. Get the fuck out of there. Because then, they will be like, where'd you go? And you can then bring it up.
Be like, hey, you started fucking while I was in the next room. Also, like, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how sneaky you think you are. I would say 9 times out of 10, people know when people are fucking in, like, a proximity. We all have sort of, like, that...
Well, also, it's like, oh, we're just going to leave for 25 minutes, come back red-faced.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. Did you guys go next door and exfoliate really hard? Because I heard rubbing sounds.
So here's the thing. If you're this friend, if you're in this situation, just get out. Like,
get out, because...
Have some self-respect and realize that, like, you sitting there is degrading to you and weird for them. Like, it's just a really... Like... You're above that. You're not meant to, like, you aren't just sort of like the person who gets put on hold and be like, if they get mad at you afterwards, be like, why'd you leave? Like, we were supposed to hang out. It's like, well, you
weren't
made
hanging out.
You made it very clear that you guys are prioritizing your, whatever you guys are over the friendship with me. Like, if you wanted to hang out, you wouldn't have disappeared and fucked.
Yeah.
While I was there.
Exactly.
Like, if that's what you wanted to do, then it's fine, but don't invite me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you absolutely cannot control yourselves, don't invite me out anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to hang out with you. I want to hang out with you. But if you guys
I'm
literally don't
like,
have
wait.
the courtesy to wait until I'm gone, or, you know, fuck before I get there, then,
or
like,
after I leave.
It's very clear that you don't value my friendship.
Yeah.
Or at least respect me enough to, like, think about my time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, if you stay, one, it's going to be kind of harder to bring it up, unless the second they walk in, you're like, what the fuck? Which, yeah, it's kind of hard, and then there's 2 people teaming up on you, right? If you stay, you're almost saying that's okay, because, you know what I mean? And then
you being like, I'll just wait here is cool.
Yeah, and that means, like, the next time they're not going to think about it as much and blah, blah, blah. But if you leave, you've made an impression, right? They're going to message you, and they're like, why did you leave? And you can say, are you joking? You guys were fucking in the next room. Like, what else am I supposed to do? And then they have gotten the message.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can move forward from this. Whereas if you just sit around and stay, next time it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know, and then next time if you leave, it won't be as dramatic or it won't be as whatever.
I would hope if it happens again after you have this conversation of being like, yeah, I fucked off because you just left me and ignored me to go fuck. I would hope that they don't do it again. And if they do it again, I think it's clear, like, where they stay. Like, it's clear where their priorities are, and it's not your friendship.
That's the thing. It's like, if you're at a party and they go off to fuck, sure, whatever. If it's just the 3 of you, like, even if it's like 4 of you, it's still weird. Like, there are social. We all know the parameters that are okay here.
Yeah.
So yeah, just fucking leave.
Go
enjoy your night. Go see
like,
Joker yourself.
It'd be like it's the exact same thing as like if every time you hung out with these people, they were like an hour late or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like. Would you be okay with that? Would you be cool to just like hang around for an hour while you wait for your friend or friends? If you are, then like, please don't.
But you're obviously not because you're posting it online.
Yeah, like time is a very valuable thing, especially nowadays. Especially like as you get older, the time you get to spend with your friends, like you could be doing something more productive than watching a bullshit movie while you wait for your friends to finish fucking.
Yeah, well, which you could even be at home watching that same movie and you'd be having more fun because you wouldn't also having it like wetly interrupted with like splashes.
So 1, leave. 2, don't do this to your friends. Be fucking courteous. Like, if you're so desperate for sex that like you are willing to throw your friends, you know, friendship away just to get your.
It's just rude. Like,
it's super rude.
It's very much like they don't give a fuck about you. And like, look, if y'all are fucking 17 and this is the first time that you've had a free house in whatever, or, you know, I'm sure there are ways this is more acceptable, but either way it doesn't seem like you guys have talked about it or done anything. Yeah,
and just
be like, hey, man, I'm so sorry.
I think we're about to fuck. Do Like, I'll buy you a drink next time we're out. Like,
or even just like, but again, if that was the case, I don't think this question would be happening. So get your shit together.
Yeah.
And leave. To both of you.
This comes from Reddit user Throwaway 104739 my
them again.
19 male girlfriend, 19 female, spent 2 weeks building up that we were going to do, what we were going to do in our hotel room with zero intention of following through with it. This is a bit long, but I'll try to blast through it.
That's fine.
A month ago, my girlfriend saw a gig she really wanted to go in a different city, but didn't feel comfortable going alone. I offered to come with and get a hotel room, but I didn't want to go to the gig because it's a singer I'm not a fan of, and I would stay in the hotel and read a book. The last couple of weeks, she's been really grateful for me coming with her. Said how she was going to reward me after she got back from the gig. However, when she got back, she didn't want to do anything, was tired, and didn't even mention anything related to it. Fair enough, she was tired, not in the mood. The problem is, though, that she spent 2 weeks making jokes and comments, building it up, and I asked her to bring a certain piece of lingerie and some other things. She didn't pack any of it. Didn't even bring condoms, which she said she would, which means she had zero intention of following through. She made up her mind before she even went, and she's the sort of person who packs a day or two before we go. I haven't said anything because I don't want to start a fight, but I'm pretty annoyed with her. Sex has always been an issue in a relationship, and some of it for good reason, but I'm just upset that she spent 2 weeks building up with no intention of following through with it.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. I don't really know how I feel about it, and I wanted to just kind of talk it out with you.
Yeah, well, I think firstly, I'm glad that this question is I'm not he's not upset that it didn't happen, but he is kind of, you know what I mean? It's not I owe
yes.
I'm glad that he at least, from what he wrote, seems like he's not being a shitbag about this.
Yeah.
Because
he doesn't
if it
seem
was,
like he's treating it as if it's a transaction. It was I've done something, and now I'm I'm owed sex.
Or even just you said you would, so now you have to, you know? Because I do kind of get it. It's why would you say and do and make these concrete plans if you literally had no intention of following through with them? You know, especially because he's already said he's going to go do it. So it almost seems I don't know, you're trying to make sure they definitely come, but in an underhand, I would feel almost like it's an underhanded way of making sure I still go. You know what I mean? When I was already going to go, which I think would offend me.
It seems really manipulative.
Yeah.
If that's your, and unnecessarily so. It doesn't seem like this guy was I'll think about going.
Yeah,
and then over the course of the week, she was I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. And then he was all right, if that's what's going to go down, I'll go. It was it seemed pretty much right off the bat, he was I'm cool with just sitting in a hotel room reading a book if you want to go to this gig. It's I don't know, it seems strange to then feel the need to, throw all these rewards, quote unquote, out in the open if you don't want to do it.
And they're dating, right?
Their girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, yeah.
And even the fact that she comes home, she's tired and it didn't happen, that's totally fine. And he also seems fine with that. But the fact that it's this premeditated tiredness, or this the whole thing was never going to happen. That's kind of the cinch, right? That's weird. I get it. I don't know. Maybe talk to her and just be hey, I know you said all these things and it's fine that didn't happen, but it also seemed like you had already not wanted it to happen days before.
Yeah.
So it's if your real reason was being tired, that's totally fine, but it seems like you'd already made your mind up, and I just want to know, why? You know, because I didn't need it, but I also, if there's an issue here, I'd like to know about it.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair to posit the question, and also say, hey, I'm not upset that we didn't have sex. Yeah. I'm more concerned that you felt like you needed to bribe me or manipulate me into thinking I was going to have sex when you had no intention of following through.
Yeah.
You don't even need to go that far. Even just asking, be why did you think that you needed to say all those things?
Yeah.
Because I had already agreed.
Yeah, I was going to do it anyway. And also, because you probably don't want her to feel like she has to do this if she also doesn't want to do it, right? You guys definitely need to have a talk. And, he does mention that sex been an issue. I wish we knew more about that, because then we could answer this question more.
I assume it's probably a sex drive matching.
Yeah.
If I'm going to
mismatch,
guess, I would probably guess that, he probably wants to have more sex than she does.
Yeah. But that's, also a very unfair way of handling it. Can't be oh, we're going to have sex, but not, lol, you know.
Yeah,
you know?
It's weird to, rev someone up, regardless of whether it's sex or whatever. You know, I mean, it would be the same thing. Imagine if you're if she did something around the house, if she's, you've been working late and she's been doing all the dishes or cooking meals or whatever, and you were baby, I'm going to take you out on the best date ever. Like, it's going to be a great date. I'm going to take you out for dinner. I'm going to take you out for dinner. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And then you just don't.
Yeah. And even just like...
And you had no intention of doing...
But on the day of, you're like, look, I'm sorry, I feel really ill. And she's like, okay. But then it turns out all the places you need to go to, you have to book a day or two in advance, and you didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Or just saying, like, I have reservations to this place.
Exactly, yeah.
And then coming to it and be like, oh, sorry, we don't have a table.
Yeah.
But you said you had reservations. I didn't really do it.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, I'm sure the person in that issue wouldn't be like, I did the cleaning, though. You owe me dinner.
Yeah.
But they also would be like, why did you fucking lie about it?
What's the point?
Like, if you were never planning on it, like, I don't need to be like, I'm not a child. I don't need these like weird, like ephemeral, like, oh, here's a carrot, like, here you go, like this bribery and this like manipulation. Like, you can just talk to me.
Yeah, I once was sleeping with, or I was in the process of like trying to woo a woman into a sexual relationship, and we like our schedules just weren't matching up, but she kept sending me like, you know, things, and like one day she was like talking about how she has no gag reflex, and she was always talking about like, you know, swallowing my dick and like all this stuff, and then when we finally our schedules finally matched up, she was literally like, oh, I don't do oral. I was like, what? I'm like, that's fine, it's okay,
yeah, but
like,
then why would that
but
be
like,
all
why would your only sexting moves be oral related? Like, literally that's all you talked about was sucking my dick and like your proficiency in sucking dick, but you don't do oral? Also, why would you tell me that after I've gone down on you for like 10 minutes?
That's exactly why she didn't tell you. Yeah,
it's just a fucking wild thing. It's like, if you're not into something, don't say you're gonna do it.
They were saying the same kind of shit. They were talking this really big game, and then eventually they were like, I'm a virgin. I was like, again, totally fine. Again, totally cool. But like this whole time you've been like, you know, throwing down this like big mad sex life you've had, and then it turns out it was all just like a front. Yeah. I was like, but what? Like, I wouldn't have cared. In fact, it made things more awkward rather than less.
Yeah, because it was like if you are worried or nervous about like I'm gonna flip it onto her side from her point of view. It's like, I get it. Like, if there is a libido issue or, you know, insecurities about sex or whatever, I understand that like going to a time where you're expected to have sex can be nerve-wracking.
Hotels, right? Like, yeah, that's what they're for.
It's more or less sort of like hand in hand. If you stay in a hotel, there's gonna be some hotel sex. So I totally get it. But
also
to nervously build it up more, it just
like, makes it worse.
Yeah, like if you just don't talk about it, or like if you don't make it like
if you don't make it a thing, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Also, like, a night in a hotel with your partner is just a night with your partner. So like, if you should be comfortable enough to express yourself with them. So it's like, if you don't want to have sex random Tuesday, that's the same as you not wanting to have sex in a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, don't let it be built up in your mind. Right? And if they don't see it that way, then they are not a good partner. And you just need to realize that, like, things don't change just because they're your partner in a different setting.
Yeah.
You know, like, they don't get this free pass because it's a hotel, and you don't have to feel that way, right? So it's like, if you didn't want to have sex, then it's the same as any other day. You don't need to build it up. You don't need to try and, like, appease them before. Because I bet that was probably what it was. It was like, you're trying to squeeze some element of sexiness out of this when you didn't want to like commit to sex, but like it kind of ends up having the opposite effect.
100%, yeah.
You
know. So yeah,
and then you just kind of feel like, I don't know if offended is the right word, or betrayed, or like lost, because you don't really know what's going on. Because then you've been told this one thing,
well, I mean, like,
then you're told another thing, but then you find out after that the condoms and the lingerie and all these things weren't even brought. So it's like,
It's
you
a
knew
lie.
It was never going to happen.
Like, if you boil it down to its, you know, its core, like, she lied to him.
Yeah.
And you need to address that. It doesn't matter what the situation was. Again, like, if you told her that you had reservations at a place that you did not have reservations, for whatever reason, whatever your gambit was there, you still lied.
Yeah,
like, you told a lie. I don't know why, but like, I would want to know why. Like, if for whatever reason Amanda did that, you know what I mean? Was like, we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna take you to the movies, and then we didn't go. I'd be like, why? Like, why say it?
Exactly.
Like, why? What did you feel that? What was the need for you here? Because I would like to address that, and maybe, hopefully, alleviate the pressure that you felt like you needed to do this.
Yeah.
So good luck. Hopefully you can get that sorted out, because that would be, it's sort of setting the groundwork for more lies. Unfortunately,
it just shows a breakdown in communication, and you guys need to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one from Reddit by Frazetta9. She is upset because I had condoms. So we've had 3 dates, and all of them ended with her giving me a blowjob in my car. Last night we were at it, and she whispered to me, "You should have brought condoms." And I told her, well, yeah, I actually did. And she got upset. She said she didn't think I was the type of guy who would have casual sex or some shit like that she doesn't feel special anymore. I told this is how I avoided having unwanted kids at age 16, and she told me to forget about the relationship, that we don't think alike. What the fuck?
Does it say how old they are now?
No.
Are we to assume that they're 16?
No, I said, I assume it was like him being like, I've carried condoms since I was 16, that's why I'm not a father.
I see.
You know?
Or is he using the same condoms he had when he was 16?
So in the comments, apparently they're like 28.
This is the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that's just like wild amounts of hypocrisy. Like, firstly, let's point out, like, because I know some girls get this a lot, where if they ever have a condom on them, guys are like, "Oh, what, are you a fucking slut? Are you easy?" Like, and it's more so, as far as I've, like, experienced, girls getting shamed for being ready for sex than guys getting shamed for being ready for sex. It's like, everybody, if you're a fucking optimist, get ready for sex.
Also, if you're going on a date.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about in general. If you're going on a date, sure, yeah, be fucking ready for sex. Also, if you've had 3 dates and every time you've performed oral on each other, yeah, bring a fucking condom. Like, what, like, it is wild to me that anybody would get upset by that.
Yeah.
At all. Like, ever. Even on first date, if you have a condom. Like, it doesn't have to be for now. It doesn't have to be for you. It just has to be there, because guess what? Like, how do you know? Like, do you have precognition?
Yeah. Like,
you don't.
If you go on a date, it's like, I don't know. Again, I'm going to go back to my default of, like, my idea of, like, dating and sex. It's like, if you go on a date with someone, you're already decided that you would sleep with them. In the sense that, like, no one is going to go on a date with someone they're not sexually attracted to.
Yeah, exactly.
No one would look at someone and say,
I would never fuck them.
I don't want to fuck that person at all. Let's go for drinks.
Yeah.
You just don't do it. It doesn't make any sense.
That's what we call being friends.
Like, unless you're actively, trying to, like, get in a sugar daddy baby situation, or you are a piece of shit and just using people for, like, free drinks and money, whatever. Yeah. Like, but if you're actively trying to actually date people as human beings, you're not going to go on a date with someone you don't want to fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's
which, of course, doesn't mean you are going to fuck them.
No,
but
absolutely not. But you would have sex with them.
Yeah. And, like,
if the stars align, if everything works out for you, you would want to have sex with that person, because that's sort of like the first things that we do as human beings when we initiate attraction. You know what I mean? It's like our bodies and our brains immediately sort of decide whether we'd fuck someone or not within like the first 3 seconds or something of meeting someone. And yes, you can be that initial reaction can be tilted one way or the other
100%.
Based on
when you actually get to know them.
Exactly, personality and conversation and other things, other factors.
But also, so can that I won't fuck him on the first date, or I won't fuck her on the first date, also change. And guess what? If you get to that point where you're like, oh my god, I really want to fuck this person, they really want to fuck me, oh shit, I don't have a condom. Sometimes you're going to say, fuck it. Other times you won't. And then that also sucks, because you haven't done what you wanted to do. But guess what? If you have a condom with you, you're good.
And it's like, it's not really what the question's about, but you should always approach dates with, like, a fluid idea of whether you want to have sex with someone or not. And that's like, don't go in rigidly being like, I have the rule that I don't fuck on the first date. Because it's fine. If you don't want to, that's fine. But if
you can also decide you don't want to during the date.
That's the thing.
And that's the same outcome.
If by the end of the date you want to fuck him, but you aren't going to because you've created an arbitrary rule for yourself that you don't fuck on the first date, then the only thing that's happened here is you haven't had sex.
Yeah, for no reason. You've upset yourself for reasons you...
Yeah, you've wanted to have sex and then you didn't because... No reason. Yeah. There's literally no reason other than the fact that, like, you've made up this concept that you don't fuck on the first date.
Because the thing is, if you decided, hey, I'm going to fuck this person, I bet you'd change your mind.
Well, I mean, that's sort of dating in essence, right? Like I said, within the first 3 seconds, we decide we want to... Like, most first dates are you talking yourself out of fucking a person. Or, like, most interactions, you know what I mean? Like, if you see someone that you're attracted to, the reason you're approaching them or engaging with them is probably because you want to pursue a sexual relationship.
Yeah, unless you're asexual or something.
Yes, yeah. And again, I'm not saying that like every conversation is the intent
course.
is
No,
to fuck.
I know what you mean. I'm just trying to clear it up for people that may not get the context.
But if you're approaching someone with romantic interests, that conversation, like the end goal, however far away it is to have sex.
Yeah.
Or some
engage
sort of
in some sort of sexual act.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, I totally agree. And
then,
also, like, how would you get offended at anybody being prepared and being safe? Like, I will bet you, like, there's probably more people who've gotten offended in this than people have gotten offended when someone's like, don't have one, let's do it anyway.
That's the thing, is like, that's the alternative, really, is then the guys who use not having a condom as an excuse or a means to pressure people into having sex who want to use condoms. So, and it's crazy, like you said, it's insane that there are men and women or people who judge women for carrying condoms. I mean, it's almost always useless for me because I do have a latex sensitivity. So the amount of times where like I actually haven't had a condom because I just wasn't, I was just doing stupid things, and all of a sudden I'm in a situation where sex was on the table.
Pessimist.
And then people were being like, "Oh, it's cool, I have a condom." It's like, well, sorry, that's not going to work.
Well, then you have to shame them and leave.
Oh yeah. I'm just like, how dare you? How dare you?
And then take their sofa.
That's how I shame people.
How dare you?
How dare you?
It's like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. No, it's insane. But also, like, I think the most buck wild part of this entire thing is that she literally just said, if only you had one.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I do. And she was like, for shame.
Yeah.
It's like,
I want a condom right now. I have one. You're an idiot. You're a horrible
God, I would sell my fucking toes just to have you with protection right now. Oh, I got it. Fuck you, motherfucking
I can't believe our desires don't line up.
I don't feel special after all these blowjobs in cars.
Oh, man.
It's like, how is you... Like, he respects you enough to be safe.
Yeah.
How is that not special?
And also, let's kind of get over the fact, like, people have sex before they meet you. We've talked about this before. Yeah. Like, him having a sexual history doesn't impact how he feels about you. It doesn't make you any less special that he was prepared for sex.
That's like being like, hey, we should have sex, and then they're good at sex, and you're upset that they're good at sex.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's no way you must have experience. What kind of experience do you
have? Experience.
Where's that experience from? Are you a hooker?
Have you been grinding? What level are you on?
I thought you meant like
grinder?
Like dutty grinding.
No, I meant just like, when you grind for experience in RPG, because I'm real cool.
I like that better, to be honest.
I was just like, guys, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And also, don't say things you don't mean, like the last question. It's like, just if you're like, oh, I really wish you had a condom. They have a condom. You go, yes. And then you guys have really good sex.
What you do is you put it on and then you fuck in that car.
Yes.
Like, that's how this
like
events should have...
Being like, oh, man, I'm so fucking hungry. And your friend being like, oh, I just got 2 burgers and I got a spare one. And then being like, oh, you're going to fucking feed me. Wow. I wanted to be fucking hungry.
Yeah. I thought I was special.
Yeah.
And you're just carrying around
an extra burger. I thought you were going to feed me in 3 days.
Is that burger for anyone? Would you just give that burger away to anyone?
Are you just ready to feed people?
Oh, so you're just gonna feed people?
Wow.
Just walk down the street, see someone hungry, and you're just gonna give them a burger?
Yeah, no, that's wild, guys.
I mean, that's even more realistic.
That's weird.
Than, like... Just because I have a condom in my pocket isn't like I can't go home without using this.
Yeah.
Couldn't bring this home.
Burger's going to go bad eventually. Yeah. The condom, that lasts for a while.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to... Like, the condom isn't there and being like, use me.
I'm slowly getting colder, Terrence.
Terrence, I'm back.
I can feel mold and fuzz developing.
Please insert your penis in me.
Oh.
And then insert me inside a vagina.
Are you talking about the burger or...
Anything.
Yeah, no, it's just, guys, don't, like, just know. Whoever, and this whole situation is so bad. I'm so sorry, friend.
Yeah, so let's sum this up. One,
be prepared.
If you go on a date, if you're
in general,
just,
in real life, like,
no
you
harm
never
in
know.
having protection. If you want to use protection during sex, there is no harm in having protection.
And you
Man,
should
woman,
want to use
anything
protection.
in between and outside of that.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're also not exclusive, or even you should just always
Just, like,
use protection.
You should use it, and to your various situations what protection is. So, like, just use it, right? Also, just be an optimist. You never know when that whirlwind movie moment will happen, and you'll find yourself on a bodega with a fucking sexy-ass boy who's got just the right tattoos in just the right places.
Do you even know what a bodega is?
No, I think I used the wrong word.
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah, but you know what? You're there.
Bodega is like those really shitty convenience stores in New York.
I know. I knew it when I said it, but I was hoping we'd just fly. But hey, I'm talking about New York Heart, the newest movie where she meets that tattooed boy in the bodega, and it's so warm in the bodega that he took his top off and he's just tattooed enough, and
it's like boy dega.
Yeah, bodega, right?
And it's just this magical boy dega that it automatically attracts all attractive men.
Well, the thing is like
have to take their shirt off.
Yeah, his job is to stack the eggplants and polish them, and then
like classic eggplant polish.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
like
you don't
want dusty bodega eggplants. So Jeremy comes in. Jeremy sees the bodega, who's never named, which is a real spicy twist. This is the best fucking Hallmark movie, by the way. Bodega in Christmas. Snow bodega.
Christmas bodega.
Snow bodega. The two. Double penetration.
What?
I don't know. Either way, just you never know when that beautiful moment will happen where you're gonna have sex and you didn't plan for it and it's fucking great, and oh wait, you have a choice between ruining it or getting an STD and getting pregnant. I don't know.
Yeah. Just stop treating sex like it's the highest epitome of it's a thing that happens.
That's the thing, like this.
If you're okay with blowing a dude in a car, you should be okay with him carrying protection.
That's the thing. There's nothing wrong with blowing a dude in the car.
No, not at all.
But there's also nothing wrong with having safe sex.
No.
And
being prepared to have safe sex.
This conversation is this situation both holds sex to the highest standards of this beautiful, glorious thing, but also it's dirty and terrible. You shouldn't do it because you're doing both those things at the same time in your mind. You're like, I need to be special. It's the best thing ever. Fuck you. How dare you, pervert? You've got condoms. It's like, how are those two things linked?
Yeah.
They're not. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. This comes from Reddit user. There's a bunch of letters, but it's just the Redditor. I have threesome anxiety. So my partner is setting up a threesome with this girl. I'm male. My partner and this girl are female. I didn't think we'd ever come this far because it seemed like the girl was only showing interest in my partner.
How'd they spell cum?
The right way.
So
by that I mean C-O-M-E. She was only showing interest in my partner, so my partner was doing all the talking. I felt like I had no say in the process, which makes me feel out of control. This has added to my anxiety, and when I found out that the girl wants a threesome, it gives me more anxiety. This anxiety arouses my insecurities, and I'm not sure how to cope with it. I don't think the word arouses is what you wanted there, sir. I've been communicating with my partner, but haven't been able to communicate with the girl. Because my partner has been saying, time's not right to include me in the discussion. They're both flirting with each other, and I'm kind of jealous because flirting is fun. How can I make myself less anxious about this?
I get it. It's a pretty personal, intense thing that you want to be a part of, but also at the same time, it's probably the best way for it to happen is, like, if she's cool with it, and if they get to know each other, like, I feel like a girl talking to a girl, it's a lot kind of maybe safer than a girl talking to a guy, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's not the right word, but like they can get comfortable before you're introduced to the situation, and you never know if it's even going to get to that point, right? Because if you're not at the point where you can actually talk to them, maybe it's not as close as this person is worried it is.
So I'm not sure. Like, I do understand. Second, it seems to me, if I'm going to go on experience and all this, it seems to me like your girlfriend is trying to set up a threesome for you, in which she is cultivating the entire experience for you.
Which sounds great.
And the reason you're not being included in it is because there's going to be a surprise. Or there's going to be, they're making sure that this is something that you want is like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's specifically for you. I'm not saying that like their main goal is to please you, but I can almost promise you that they're cooking up something to wow you or to show off, or you know what I mean? Like there's something about the fact that you're not allowed to be privy to these conversations that they're up to something.
I would be more prone to believe that if this person didn't seem so far removed from the thing, because he seems so nervous and upset that I can't imagine that him and the girlfriend have ever talked about it in depth to the point where, like, I imagine if they had ever really talked about it to the point where she'd know what to set up and plan for, unless it's her fantasy she assumes he would like.
Well, that's, yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of what I think what's probably happening here.
If his, like, involvement was ever in this stage, I don't think he would be as scared as he is right now.
I don't even necessarily think it's him being scared. I
think, know what I mean.
I think what he's going through right now is, I think the Spite Witch put it very well, where traditionally men do not like when women have control, especially in the matters of sex. And I say that like in the most basic traditional gender roles, where people assume that the male is the dominant and the female is the. So like I'm going to go on a limb here. Again, I'm making a lot of assumptions because I don't have all the information.
That's the thing. This is very contextless. But
I would assume that he probably makes a lot of the decisions. You know what I mean? And I would assume that he's usually the one in control because he's talking about his insecurities, and I think that probably means that he doesn't like not being in control, or he doesn't like being the one who makes the decisions. And I'm not saying that this is in an abusive way,
no, of course,
or in a manipulative way or anything like that. I think it's just sort of, I think he's out of his comfort zone, not being in control of the situation.
See, I read it differently, where it seems to me like, especially because he's feeling the jealousy, is that like obviously, considering she's off flirting with girls and wants to include a woman in the relationship, she at least is, you know, bi or at least somewhat fluid sexually. I think he's worried that the girl isn't going to be into him, or that his girlfriend's going to be more into the girl. It seems to me like that's a lot of what he feels.
Sorry, I mean, you are correct, because they do say, I didn't think we'd ever come this far, because it seemed like the girl was only showing interest in my partner.
Yeah, so I think
been doing all the talking.
He's feeling left out more and insecure more in the like, I don't feel like I'm even there. You know, he's not even talking to them. He's not even flirting. So it seems more like he's worried that they're just going to have their own thing, and either the girl's going to show up and be like, ugh, or his partner is going to be all about that person. He's just going to be a third wheel.
But
that's some of the insecurity I was getting.
Yeah, I think you could be right. But they do say also as well, it's like when I found out that the girl wants a threesome.
Okay, yeah.
So it seems like the third is the one who might be the one who posited the question, right?
But so at the same time, you'd imagine they don't really go into whether they're polyamorous or anything, right?
No, I also don't know, like, is this just a random person you found on Tinder? Is it a person that you know? Like, I don't know those. I don't know the parameters of the relationship with the third.
Yeah, because if they were looking for a third, you assume the girl would have known the whole time. And then it would have just been like her saying yes, and not them being, and then her being like, oh, actually include your boyfriend. So it's kind of hard to really make a proper judgment call on that, but advice.
My advice would be, because he does say he's in communication with his partner, but hasn't been in communication with her. I think there's no harm in you saying like, hey, I'm a little nervous about this because I haven't talked to her. Yeah. And sort of lay it on the table and be like, if you're up to something and you think I'm going to enjoy it, that's cool. But let me know. Don't spoil anything. Don't tell me all the details. But I just want you to know that currently the lack of information for me is making me a bit nervous.
Unenjoyable, yeah.
And if we're going into this, I would like to be as confident as possible because nerves never make good sex.
No, not at all.
If I'm nervous and anxious, there's a good chance that like I'm not going to get hard or I'm not going to perform well. Yeah. And if this is your first threesome or any threesome, it's a rare enough occurrence for most people that like you kind of want to really get like the most out of it. You want
your money's worth.
You want to squeeze every fucking drop of juice out of this situation as you possibly can. So you want to be at peak performance. And if you don't feel like you're at peak performance, you kind of got to figure out what that is to what you got to do. And I think the first thing is dropping those barriers and letting your partner know your insecurities about it.
100%. Like, just talk to them. And if they're in, like, if it is a surprise or whatever, and she's like, it is, I'm sure that'll probably reassure you. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends what kind of surprises your partner does, I guess. But on top of that, if she is like, no, we're just like, we want to get to know each other, blah, blah, blah. Maybe she'll have a timeline, or maybe realizing that you feel a little bit left out or a little bit insecure will, like, hasten the kind of inclusion, or, like, maybe, you know, like, there are steps forward, and if she doesn't know how you're feeling, she's not going to take them.
Yeah. And I will say that you can also say, like, you don't necessarily have to be, like, involved in, like, a Facebook group chat or whatever means
just go out for drinks one night or something. It's
Before,
probably the easiest way to do it.
Before it happens, even, like, the night of, or, you know, a couple nights of, or just, like, go and have some drinks. Because people, you can definitely look at someone and be like, I would love to throw her in that bedroom. And then you talk to them, and you're like, I cannot stand this person.
Yeah. And vice versa. They might be doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they want to get to know you.
It's frustrating. And I'll tell you, like, I've had a few threesomes, and the best ones, all the ones that I've really enjoyed have been the ones where we've all met up for drinks prior, and then went and did the damn.
It's almost like the introduction.
Yeah.
Followed by the
and it's
fun.
And it's fun to, like, it's you know, a little social lubricant isn't, obviously you don't get fucking hammered because that's weird.
No.
But, like,
also gonna ruin yourself, because either you're not gonna perform, you're gonna be sloppy and smelly, or you're gonna fucking forget it.
Yeah,
so,
you're not gonna remember it.
Chill.
It's like, there's no harm in just having, like, a couple drinks to relax everyone's nerves. You talk, make sure that
a little Dutch courage, even.
Yeah. I would say try to get into a place where you're not. I'm a bar sitter. I like sitting at the bar. This is one of those occasions where this is
you
not
want, like,
a good
corner
idea.
booth.
Yeah, or the corner of a bar if they've got it. So that way you're sort of all, you know, close together, because like, you don't want to put her in the middle. Like, that would be the ideal situation on a bar.
Well, the
because
thing
you're
is,
both
like,
beside her, but then you're,
if she's
like,
in the middle, you're
her.
attacking her. If she's away, you're either
One person is removed.
Yeah, one person's kind of just like, hey.
So even just, like, even a table where, like, you know, you and your partner sit together and they sit on the other side. It gives
shadowy corner booths. Y'all can get a little sexual without
That's
piquing that
like,
pervy bartender's
every
interest.
now and then,
because you know
maybe...
Dane homes in on those conversations.
You better.
He's like, what?
Let me tell you.
Pardon? He's just licking his lips in the background.
The second someone sits down, I know if they're gonna fuck.
Oh, 100%.
I just take a deep inhale, and I just be like, they're gonna fuck. That guy's gonna strike out. They're already fucking. And it's...
I love playing, like, date bingo, where you figure out, like, first date, second date, Tinder date, knew each other, like, 8th date, anniversary, like, what, you know, and you figure it out. And most of the time, you're right.
Sometimes. My bar is huge for Tinder dates, like first Tinder dates.
Really? Why?
Because
I guess because there's so many young people down.
It's fairly casual. You know what I mean? Like, it's
those are probably a bunch of young people.
Quiet. Yeah.
So they can just pop across the road.
That's the thing. It's like it's such a, and I love it, because it gives me so much fuel for this fucking show that we do. Because
wait, which show? Should plug it.
Oh yeah, it's called Sex with Dane. It's my dating and sex advice podcast
where I fuck Dane.
Yeah, it's like I love watching people go on these fucking
it's the best,
because everyone is so bad at it. Few people get it. Few people get it. Well, I'll say 9 times out of 10 they don't.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite first dates to ever have seen was in a fine dining place where he was the douchiest person ever. He kept repeating, like, stock phrases about wine that didn't make sense. He also claimed he was a person with a problem with authority, and then clarified that sentence by saying he's the kind of guy who'd pull a cop over for speeding.
I mean, that's not a problem with authority, my man. That's
suicide?
It's a Napoleon complex right there.
But he kept being like, the only way to go is a petit Syrah. The only way. But then...
Also, how would you pull a cop over?
I know.
Do you have your own siren?
The best was just... Her face was just like this... Like, you could tell it didn't move at all, because she didn't know where to move it. She couldn't consciously move it somewhere, because how do you respond to that? But if she let it do its own thing, it would be like this confused sneer, maybe? And then he would shite on about that, and then... when she was like, yeah, but I don't want red, he was like, well, the only way to go is in New Zealand, like, and it just would go on. And you could tell she was just trying to make her way out of the whole thing. And at the very end of the date, he was like shiting on about some fucking grape haul in 2016 in Europe being the best, which I very much doubt was true, because he had no idea what he was talking about. Maybe it was, I don't know. And he was like, hey, so I actually, the grape varietal I was talking about, I have a really good bottle of it at home, been saving for a special occasion. She was like, good, yeah, I hope it comes along. And left. And he was just like gaping like a fish out of the water.
Yeah.
Also didn't tip well.
Ooh, hey, let me just throw this out here. If you want the best dating and sex advice I can ever tell you, your bartender is your best wingman. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you right now, if you take care of us, we will take care of you, and 9 times out of 10, it is the best thing that can happen to your date. If you're sitting at a bar, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably going to if she goes to the bathroom, I'm going to be like, I'm going to either pep talk you, I'm either going to give you some advice, or if you go to the bathroom, I'm going to talk you up.
Yeah,
or
100%.
I'm going to give you free shots, or something. You know what I mean? I'm going to act like you are my best friend. I'm going to act like you are the coolest fucking dude. Because let me tell you right now,
that's going to add your shit.
Having a bartender on your side is the coolest thing. I would say that right now, 90% of our success. That's not a true statistic, but when we used to go out together, we would go to a bar and we were such regulars there, and we tipped our bartenders so well that we would they would hand beers over to us, over crowds, and not charge us until the next time we came up because they knew who we were.
Yeah, and we fucking sorted them out. They sorted us out.
And let me tell you, no one like that. I don't know what it is. There's something about it that people are like, fuck. All right.
Yeah, those people are cool.
And it's not like we did anything crazy. No, it was just like our first round,
decent.
$5 tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. What's it to me?
Also, I will say, on the flip side, even before someone's tipped, it's like I've never had someone have this really cool date, go really well, and they're going home, and it's going to date 7 at least, right? And then they throw down like a 5 or 10% tip. Never. They're always the people who are doing really well are like, hey, here's 20, here's 25, whatever. Yeah. Where it's like the person that bombs hard and they're like, well, I guess I'll settle up 5%. You're like, I don't think this is happening because you're unhappy. I think you're unhappy and this is happening.
Yeah.
First date I went on with my current girlfriend, we were at a bar, like we were playing a rolling game of I Never through a bunch of different bars. And one of the bartenders was like, hey, just want to let you guys know, you guys are so fucking fun. This is amazing. And gave us custom fucking cocktails that they made, and we were like, hell yeah. And we left feeling like we were both cool, tipped them great, and they probably helped us get close together because they were like, you two are great.
Again, there's, like I said, there's a power to the bartender.
Oh yeah.
That if
and it's not just the ability to smash windows with a thought and make birds fly low.
Don't reveal the secret bartender psychic powers.
Edit that out.
Get it on the table. Lay your cards down. And be like, I want to be involved in this process.
Don't suffer in silence. Let her know, and don't be weird about it. Just be like, hey, it's always great when someone's like, hey, I'm a little insecure about this, or I feel this way about this, or I wish I was involved in this way, because I'm sure they weren't doing it knowing you felt that way. They probably didn't know. So now they need to fix it.
I'm telling you right now, she is doing this because she thinks you're like, you know what I mean? You're just fucking jizzing in your pants.
She's planning to kill you.
And she's going to kill you.
Yeah, no, it's a murder.
Next question.
This is a Reddit question by Cowspots. My boyfriend wants to name the dog after himself.
Yes, go for it.
I'm just going to get right to the point. My boyfriend and I have been talking about getting a dog for months, and even ever since we started going to shelters and looking for one, he's been saying he wants to name Mateo. Mateo's my boyfriend's name. I thought he was joking, as he usually is, but now he's saying that he's not joking and he really wants to name Mateo. I don't know what to do because I definitely don't want my dog and boyfriend of the same name. I don't even know why he would want to name the dog after himself. Like, what the fuck?
I'm telling you right now, this is a long con. He doesn't want to do this.
Oh, he does.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He realized how upset you were the first time, and he's going to do this until and it doesn't matter what you name this dog, he's going to call it Mateo because it pisses you off.
You know what?
And I say that because that's what I would do.
Yes, but the thing is, she didn't get annoyed the first time. She thought it was funny. It was only when it kept going that she was like, oh god, he means it. I think she knows Mateo well enough to know when Mateo means it, he means it.
Look, let me tell you right now. Me and Mateo, we go way back. And this boy is playing the long game.
You wish you knew someone as cool as someone named Mateo.
I'm sorry, we got beers from a dude named Coolius last week.
That's fair. Who is semi-floating the idea of sponsoring the podcast?
Oh,
I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I'm not sure if he's being serious, but he did ask how many people were on it. 2.
Nice. There's 2 of us.
I know. You could spare 2 beers of brew, Julius.
Right.
Coolius.
Yeah.
Brulius.
Maybe we'll use one of our shiny stones to evolve you even further.
Oh shit. Cool Asian.
Cool nation.
Cool ice. Let's just roleplay this a little bit.
Okay.
Mateo, stop shitting on the carpet.
And then me and Mateo both look around, grin on our face, saying,
Are you the dog?
We're both of us. No.
The dog can speak.
Yes. What he's going to do, you know that fucking, I don't remember what it's called, but it was the movie where Johnny Depp died and then put himself in a computer. I think Mateo's going to do this. I think Mateo's going to kill himself, implant himself in the dog boyfriend.
Oh, you know what? Talk to Mateo and be like, yo, Mateo, this is funny and all. If you die, I'm going to cry every time I have to tell the dog anything. Or rename him, which is going to hurt the dog, because the dog's going to be confused.
Or,
because you imagine, be like, I could just get home from the funeral and you're like, Mateo, are you hungry?
Mateo,
are you hungry? Do you want to go out of your coffin? I mean, of the house.
Mateo, play dead. I'll go.
Oh, no, you're too good at it. You can't.
Or here's what I'm going to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
Suggest naming it yourself.
Yes.
Cow Spots or whatever. Yeah, be like, no, you know what? Mateo's not a bad name. You know what's a better name? Cow Spots.
Yeah. Oh my God. You say you 100% agree, but then you say, as if as a fun, totally non-serious afterthought, but if it's a girl, we'll use my name. And then you fucking bait and switch these dogs so hard, you pretend it's a boy, and then when he's not looking, shoo, that Dalmatian has the same spots. But guess what? It does not have a penis. And it does identify as a woman.
You know what? Here's the thing. Leave it up to fate. Put a bunch of fucking names on dog
all
bowls.
All of whom are Mateo.
And then fill the same dog bowls with the same food, and let the dog pick. Who are you to say?
That's fun.
Dogs have agency, and one of them is Mateo. And if you choose Mateo, then that's fate. I'm sorry, it's the only fair way to do it.
Yeah, and then your boyfriend needs a new name.
Well, that's the other thing.
Which bowl does he eat from?
You get a bunch of plates with names on it.
I put a lot of chicken wings in them.
Yeah, put his favorite dish on there, and then whatever plate he chooses. And also, he can't see it. The food is covering the plate.
The food
so he has to look at the plates and be like, which one looks the best? This one. And if he chooses the plate, once he finishes eating, he finds his new name.
Yeah.
And if it's Mateo, then it's meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got two Mateos, right?
Exactly. You have a serendipity situation where it was meant to be Mateo and Mateo living together, dog, man's best friend,
dog,
same
man.
thing,
Man,
dog, man.
Or you just pretend you're like, I don't know, like a 2000s rapper, and every time you say the dog's name, you're like, Mateo, Eo, Mateo, and then he will literally cut his own ears off within 7 days, and then you don't have to call either of them anything, just learn sign language.
Or maybe call him Remix.
Okay, that's a thing.
Like, he's the Mateo Remix.
Call him Ao Matt.
Call him whatever that thing that Pitbull says.
Dale.
Have
we not talked about that this whole podcast? God damn. Guys, Dale is a way of life. Pitbull taught me how to live.
I learned how to live through Pitbull.
Yeah, today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We gotta ship you off to Tehran and get you a suit.
We should probably end this, boy.
Boys and girls and ladies and gents. We needed a coupon update.
Oh, we did.
So, y'all fucked me.
No, literally.
Y'all fucked me hard. Didn't even give me coupons. I'm the only one of the three boys that did the coupon thing.
I told you I wasn't going to do it.
No, I think Kyle's going to do it for next week. I don't know. He just sent me a message saying they've been busy and they're going to get to it. So it depends whether Brandon listens. But my girlfriend listens, and I got a whole slate of texts on Monday. Because now she realized why I kept handing her coupons every time we fucked. To be fair, so far the answer is it weird or not? No, it is not weird. Because the first time, she was like, oh, awesome, coupons. And she's like, oh, I don't like Harvey's. That was it. Second time, she was like, oh, great, yeah, I'll put these on my desk at work, which made me really sad because they were my Subway coupons, and I wanted to use them. And for this fucking podcast, I put my Subway happiness on the line, so thanks. Thanks for that, guys. So yeah, it's officially not weird.
It's not weird.
It's our first experiment.
Yep.
I will post up one of those texts maybe, because they're pretty funny.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
You're a hero, by the way. I love you.
Thank you very much for listening.
You're welcome.
And it's almost the end of the year.
It's wild.
It's almost
the end of the fucking decade.
It's true. We're almost in the 20s, baby.
We're almost into the first decade.
I think
that does start off with our podcast existing.
I think it's gonna I think we're just gonna revert back to the black and white ages.
No, we're gonna fix everything because hindsight is 20/20.
Ooh. Ooh. I mean, we got a presidential election.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens there.
Don't fuck it up again, guys.
Hindsight's 2020.
Hindsight. This couldn't be a more aptly named year, you fine people.
We love you, everyone in America. We love you so much. And we love your country so much.
Don't fuck this for us.
Please do good. If you have a question for us, you can find us on many different ways. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FCKBuddiesPodcast. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_Buddies. You can find us on the internet at FBuddiesPodcast.com. You can also send us an email at FBuddiesPodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, yeah. Thank you to Max and Sage if you guys have started listening to this episode. If not, when you get to this episode, thanks.
Yo, what up?
Yo, what up also. Thank you to Josh Eagle and those Harvest Cities for their song, Paper Stars.
And now, I'm going to get comfortable.
All right. So, guys, you remember last week I told you about the Bad Sex Writing Awards that were being announced yesterday? Well, they were announced, and guess what? The one we read last week, it was one of 2 winners, because of course it was. So are we going through the rest, Dane, and you're going to tell me which one wins, or am I just going to read it too?
No, just read me the thing. The winner. Yeah.
All right, well, I picked last week's one because I thought it was pretty much the fucking worst. So I was half right. So I guess after over a year of fucking studying this shit, I can get it. I also love, like, some people when they win, they're really, like, chill about it. Other people when they win are, like, really salty. And they actually invite, like, the authors to this award ceremony and, like, give them a prize. And it's fucking great. But some people are like, well, I guess I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make a critic think about what they're reading. That was one quote. I'm like, no, you're just bad.
Because, like, let me tell you, one of my favorite stories. I don't know if I've ever talked about my love of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but I adore the man.
He's amazing.
And I think that my world will crumble if it ever comes out that he is
a
terrible person. But he literally went to accept his Razzie for Baywatch, like, and did so humbly. And I respect a man who can,
like, I think that's really funny.
failures.
Like, if you can do a thing and look at it and be like, yeah, I've done so many things that I either fucked up or did badly or tried and was just like off the fucking mark. Hell, there's probably some episodes of this podcast that, if not all, maybe.
It hurts me a little bit as an artist that people who are writing these novels think that they're creating, like, pure art.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be some sort of, like, self-awareness in being like, if I'm writing erotica, I know I'm not, like, the pinnacle of high art.
These are sex scenes in, like, literary stories. Like, none of these are erotica. These are all, like, chart-topping literary. Oh, yeah. Remember I told you there was all the books and shit were, like, in the bestsellers in Indigo last year. I
thought they were erotica.
No, these are literary novels, man. Like, some of these are some of the most, like, well-thought-of writers of the fucking age right now. They're the ones winning fucking actual awards.
I'm no longer comfortable ever.
No, Steffi, that's just some bullshit erotica. This shit is actual, like James Frey is up there being a big shot. And his sex writing sucks. You can quote me on that. No. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the other winner. This is Pax by John Harvey. She gave a yet deeper moaning sigh. Like breathing in, he saw the word he had said shiver and expand inside her. Her arms moved now and flexed. Out of here, Venus de Milo. He watched the death life fill her growingly. She grabbed and caressed him with more muscle, more zest than ever before. Her long, lean arms were spider arms, while her kisses roved and dug. I see it, he said. You are the female praying mantis, devouring her mate. I am. You are. I shall eat every shred of you, mouthful by mouthful. Exactly. Ah, but boy, you taste good. She licked her lips and pulled him close, but now he was clasping too. It was a kind of slow wrestling, and they were knitting each other into a loose, slipping knot. He was upside down over her, loving her bush, and lick-kissing like eating her inner thighs, till at last they loved fully and later lay back. She did not chatter. Their arms stirred in luxurious, desultory twining.
I was really hoping that was going to end with her ripping his head off.
Should have.
Yeah. It's the only way that would have gone down smooth for me.
Loving her bush.
Loving it. Hey, man.
That's probably the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just enjoying. I think I've come to the point in my life where, like, it's so rare that, like, I encounter pubic hair that, like, anytime I used to, I'd be like, yo, what's up?
I don't give a fuck. Like, I hate when people are like, I'm so sorry I haven't shaved. I'm like, if anyone gives you shit for this, they suck. Also, fucking, if anyone gives a fuck that. Don't fuck them. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
That's what I'm saying. It's like most people I've ever slept with would shave, and like every now and then I'd get that one rogue bush. I'd be like, yo, what up? What's going on? Nice to see you. Let me get in there. Do you have a Dan for us?
You know what? I don't think we've done Dan in a while.
We didn't do one last week.
Yeah, so I'm gonna... No, he hasn't done something since October 13th.
Oh, shit.
It's almost 2 months.
Oh, no, you know what is happening?
Do we run him out of business?
No, he's powering up again.
Oh, no.
Remember last time?
Yeah, he
went...
But, like, he posted 12 tweets in one day about, like, his various, like, I don't know, male heroes, but then deleted them all. So I don't know if Dan has just, like, glitched. Has he been, like, a program this whole time? He's one of those, like, sneaky AIs. Oh, okay, here's Dan being... slightly introspective for once.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I want my ex back? 5 questions to ask yourself to find the real reason why.
Goddamn.
Let's hope from yet.
Is there?
This was
because I don't
3 years ago.
I don't think any of those answers are probably, or even the questions, are any good. And as usual, I got a little palate cleanser, something to let us, ruminate on, and something to get Dan out of our mind. This comes from Pornhub user, Oi mate, got a pen? And they say, I can almost feel the haunting presence of my ancestors looking down on me in disturbance and disappointment. My name is Dane Miller.
I love that song from Pocahontas. But my name is Niall Spain.
And we are your fuck buddies.